In this video, we're going to see how we can handle pagination in Next.js, and we'll also store the page in the URL like that. And this way we can save the URL or we can share it, and we'll always have the same page with the same data, and we'll also get a better SEO. So here we have an array of products, and we are displaying these products in the page. Let's take a look at that on the browser. And as you can see right here, we have 20 products. And now we want to display these products in different pages, such as each page contains 5 products. So in total, we'll have 4 pages. So in order to do that in Next.js, we have to grab the page from the URL. So first of all, let's grab the search params from the home function, because this is the way that we can get the search params in Next.js 13 or 14. Now let's define the type of the search params. It'll be an object, the key will be string, and the value will be a string or an array of string or undefined. Now let's define some variables. First, let's export the products length right here, because we will need it when we want to create the page controller. So we will create the page controller in a different file where we can switch between pages, go to the next page, the previous page, etc. Now let's define the default page, and it'll be 1 by default. So if the URL does not include any page on the search params, the page will be 1 by default. And now let's specify how many items we want to be in our page. In our case, we just want to include 5 products per page. So let's define that. And now let's grab the page from the search params. And right here, if the URL does not include any page on the search params, we want to assign the page to the default page by default, which is 1. And since the page is a string on the search params, we want to convert that string into number, so the type of the page will be number. Because when we want to go to the next page, we need to add 1 to this page. And when we want to go to the previous page, we want to subtract 1 from the page. So in order to do that, we have to convert the page from a string to a number. And this page will be a number, so it'll say a number. And now if the page that we've got from the URL is less than 1, or if the page that we've got from the URL is greater than the total pages that we have right here, we want to display this error message. And now all we have to do is to use the slice method of the array in order to display only the products of the current page. So let's save that, and let's test that on the browser. So because we don't have any page defined in the search params of the URL right here, the page will be 1 by default as we've defined right here. So now we are getting only 5 products per page. Now we can define the page right here in the search params of the URL, and we will get the products of that page. For example, the page can be 2, and we'll get the products of the second page. If we try to define a page that does not exist, for example, let's say 5, as you can see here, we are getting this message. So let's go back to our previous page, and now we want to create a page controller where we can go to the next page or the previous page. So now let's create a new file called page controller. Now let's import React from React, and now let's initialize our page controller component. Now let's receive the page as a prop, because we have to have access to the current page in order to be able to navigate to the next page or the previous page. Let's receive the page as prop right here, and now let's build the UI of our page controller. I have grabbed this UI of the pages controller from this Tailwind CSS page. If you are using Tailwind, you can use this UI. I'll leave the link of this page on the description below. Now let's import the items per page and the products length, because we'll need them. And we also have to import the link from next/link, because we'll need the link in order to be able to navigate throughout the pages. Here we are using the link in order to be able to navigate to the previous page, and now let's type the logic of the previous page. As you can see right here, if the current page is bigger than 1, all you have to do is to subtract 1 from the current page. Otherwise, we just want to stay on the first page, because there is no page smaller than 1. And we are putting this object right here on a new URL search params in order to be able to convert this object into a URL search params syntax like that, using this toString method from the URL search params. And now let's build the UI of the next page. We have to use the link again in order to be able to navigate to the next page. And now let's build the logic of the next page. As you can see right here, if the current page is less than the total pages that we have in our app, we want to add 1 to our current page and navigate into it. Otherwise, we just want to stay on the last page. Now let's build the UI of the rest of the pages. We have the first page right here. We want it to navigate to the first page. And we also have the second page that will navigate to the second page, the third page, and the fourth page. Let's save that and let's test that on the browser. And as you can see right here, everything is working as expected. And this is how we can implement pagination in Next.js 13 or 14. If you are interested about Next.js and React.js topics, make sure to subscribe to the channel and see you in the next video.